everybody. Hi, welcome to this afternoon tonight. I am Chris Adams, and I'm excited to be here. First things first, let's get to a little bit of business. I am performing at the Ice House tomorrow at 8 p.m. with the fabulous Ian Bagg. I'll be on this show, so please come out if you can make it. That would be really awesome, and I would love you for it. So I hope to see all of my friends there, and if not, we're still going to be friends because I'm not that much of a jerk. But thank you anyway. Um, I'm here at work in the studio where I usually am. I basically, the joke is here that I live here. I don't actually live here. Come on, that's a little ridiculous, right? But I am here way too much. I do work really hard, but I I I've been watching the news this week, and I noticed that there was this little girl that spoke at the UN, which I thought was hilarious. I remember, I'll play a few of the sounders from her stuff. Oh, there it
You
is.
have stolen my dreams and my childhood with your empty words.
Yeah, we stole that, yes.
How dare you?
How dare me, for sure.
This is all wrong.
You know?
Shut up and sit down!
Which is
Get
what,
here.
which is what someone should have said. Because I find this stuff funny because this is actually, now I know people are going to get offended, but this isn't the first time this has happened. This has actually been going on for a very long time. There have been people that have been preaching that the world is going to end. Just go back and watch An Inconvenient Truth today. It's really quite hilarious because you're like, oh, wait, that didn't happen. Neither did that. In fact, there's more ice in the polar ice caps than there has been. It's so weird when you actually look into it and you're like, oh, they're just trying to use it. They're using children. First it was politicians. Now they're using children to try and take your tax money and to try and control you. And it's not actually helping the environment. If they were honest about helping the environment, I'd be cool. I've actually cleaned up trash. Yes, it was court ordered, but I did it. And cleaned up after the homeless people here. I also don't drive. I don't have a car. Most people, they go, we need to protect the environment, and I watch them drive off, and I'm like, yeah, you don't really mean it. I actually take public transportation. It sucks, but I do it. I hate littering. I hate pollution. I don't like it. We should not overfish. I'm for the environment, but when I see these things constantly and the arrogance of these people, and it's not true. Most of it's pretty fake, and that's why I would love if people who would just understand, like, hey, look, like they're kind of they're fooling you. They're using these kids. They're tugging at your heartstrings, and I've seen this before, and I'll give you an example. In fact, I'll show you. There we go. I will show you the example of this person.
Hello, I'm Severin Suzuki, speaking for ECHO, the Environmental Children's Organization. We're a group of 12 and 13-year-olds trying to make a difference. Vanessa Seti, Morgan Geisler, Michelle Quigg, and me. We've raised all the money to come here ourselves, to come 5,000 miles to tell you adults you must change your ways. Coming up here today, I have no hidden agenda.
Yeah.
I am fighting for my future.
No hidden agenda.
Losing
I'm
my
sure.
future is not like losing an election or a few points on the stock market. I am here to speak for all generations to come.
Same script,
I am
different
here
writers.
to speak on behalf of the starving children around the world whose cries go unheard. I am here to speak for the countless animals dying across this planet because they have nowhere left to go. I am afraid to go out in the
Very
sun
afraid.
now because of the holes in our ozone.
She's not, by the
I'm
way.
afraid to breathe the air because I don't know what chemicals are in it. I used to go fishing in Vancouver, my home, with my dad, until just a few years ago we found the fish full of cancers. And now we hear of animals and plants going extinct every day, vanishing forever.
So that was in '92. So they've been doing this for a while, and they always use kids because it makes stupid people go, oh wow, we have to listen to them. And I understand it's very emotionally moving, and I get it. I'm with you. But once you look into it, you even look into it more, you do learn that they've been doing this a while. To actually, my favorite. I'm gonna go to this because my favorite bit is from George Carlin when he talks about it. Like the the arrogance that we think that we can actually control and do what we think we're going to do to the planet is hilarious. So let me just play a little bit of George Carlin.
See, I'm not one of these people who's worried about everything. You got people like this around you. Country's full of them now. People walking around all day long, every minute of the day, worried about everything. Worried about the air, worried about the water, worried about the soil. Worried about insecticides, pesticides, food additives, carcinogens. Worried about radon gas, worried about asbestos. Worried about saving endangered species. Let me tell you about endangered species, all right? Saving endangered species is just one more arrogant attempt by humans to control nature. It's arrogant meddling. It's what got us in trouble in the first place. Doesn't anybody understand that? Interfering with nature. Over 90%, way over 90% of all the species that have ever lived on this planet, are gone. Whoosh. They're extinct. We didn't kill them all. They just disappeared. That's what nature does. They disappear these days at the rate of 25 a day. And I mean regardless of our behavior. Irrespective of how we act on this planet, 25 species that were here today will be gone tomorrow. Let them go gracefully. Leave nature alone. Haven't we done enough? We're so self-important. So self-important. Everybody's...
So yeah, I know he's obviously just a comic, so you can't be like, oh, that's a fact. But there's a lot of truth, and I think a lot of comics research. Oh, not all of them, but I know on his level, he would read the paper every day. I've worked for Chris Rock, and he would read the paper all the time. A lot of the bigger comics, they try and understand what they're talking about. So the best thing, the reason why things are very funny is because they're true. And so worrying about the planet, I agree that we should definitely not like just throw oil into the ocean. That's horrible. And we should try to like throw out your trash. But this idea that you're going to have a government that can do things, like for example, we can't even tell China and India, who are polluting at a higher rate. Luckily, we've changed our culture. We are polluting less in America. We do drive better cars, and that didn't come from a government. That came from people wanting to do it, and then business eventually got on board. But you have to make the change small. That's my problem with all of this, is that everyone wants to do this drastic thing, and it just isn't feasible, and it's not going to work, and most of it's being paid for by the same person. If you look into who paid for Greta, I forget her name, but whatever. I don't listen to kids about politics or really much of anything. If Greta wanted to tell me about Mario, I'd be down to listen. I'd be like, yeah, let's talk about Mario. I'm sure it's gonna be awesome. So it's not that I don't take her very seriously. It's just I think she's just misguided. That's all. I have no ill will towards her. I just go, okay, you want to do the right thing. That's good, but stop trying to tell adults what to do. Like, you're still just a kid. Now, if you had a solution, that would be awesome. If you were like, oh, I invented this new thing and it's going to clean up the plastics. There's a dude doing that, in fact. It might not work, but he's trying. He has this little a device he invented that goes into the water and it helps scoop away the plastic, and that is amazing. That is an actual tangible solution. That's my problem with a lot of people, is they have these grand ideas but no actual solutions. That's why I usually don't talk about any of this stuff, because I'm like, why worry about it? You can't do anything. And worrying just makes you live a weird life. For me, the only thing I worry about is like, how am I gonna provide a future for my kids eventually? I don't have any, but when I do, which hopefully I will, I want to provide an awesome life for them. It's where they can grow and become better than I was, which I am a colossal screw up in life, But somehow I managed to land a good job. So hey, if I can do it, you can do it. And everybody have a great weekend. I will see anybody that's going to come out to the Ice House tomorrow. I will be there with this dude, Ian Bagg, who is a wonderful comedian. So thank you all for watching, and have a good night. Oh, yeah. And, let's see. Is it? No.
But it's time. It's time for Dodger baseball.
That's happening right now, so I will see everybody